Hello, it's me, Brian. Today we're making a video for one of my viewers, hopefully a subscriber, Thomas, a young man. He told me that he's got a friend named Moon Shadow, who wants to walk from California, right, or through Nevada into Arizona. I don't know where he's going in Arizona, right, but hopefully he knows somebody when he gets there. Right, because it's going to take a minute. Anyway, all right. So Thomas, this question basically was, could I, express my thoughts, what I'm saying, and share some of my experience when me and Anonymous rode our bikes across Nevada twice, because we didn't make it the first time, and he was the only one that made it the second time, right? And how difficult that this endeavor would be, for this young man, Moonshadow, to attempt. Right now, okay, so let's run it down. Let's do it by the numbers. Number one, right off the get-go, your success depends on a lot of factors, and one of those factors is what you're carrying. Right now, me and Anonymous did it on bicycles. Right, and before you get to thinking, young man, Moonshadow, right, that I'm just some crazy old man, that drinks too much whiskey or whatever. Right, know this. Right, me and Anonymous rode our bikes from Phoenix all the way across Interstate 8 to San Diego, where we ditched the trailer that he was pulling because it was too much hassle. And then from there, we rode straight up PCH1 as far as, Sacramento, right, San Francisco. And then from San Francisco, we cut across and we went up to Oregon all the way to Quarter Lake, came through Medford, Ashland, all that stuff, came back around, down around through California, back into Nevada. Now, when we got to Reno, right, we were doing pretty good, right? We devised the system. We knew what we were doing because we didn't have money. We didn't have anything. We had like $150 a month between us and food stamps and whatever I could hustle out of YouTube and some other ways to make money that I'm going to explain to you. Right? It took us 2 tries from Fallon, right? 2 different occasions, like a month or so apart to make it, to where as far as we did. The first time we made it to Austin on up Highway 50, the loneliest road in America. Right? And then the second time, it took us about 3 weeks to get from Fallon down 6, to Rachel. Well, actually, we made it all the way to Caliente. And then at Caliente, he kept going, and I turned around and came back to Rachel. And I stayed at Rachel for a year, and he came all the way back to Phoenix. So I have a lot of experience, right, a lot of knowledge about trying to ride a bicycle across Nevada, and you're going to try to walk, so it's going to be even more difficult. So what you're carrying, right? You're going to have to carry at least a gallon jug of water and a canteen, right? That's probably going to be about 10, 12 pounds right there because you're going to have a belt, for the canteen and the water jug unless you plan on, tying it to your backpack or something, right? Okay, that's 10 to 12, dead weight pounds you're going to be swinging around, you're going to be carrying, in your hand. Right? Now, your backpack, so on average, most backpacks, when they're full, say for an adventure, right, weigh in the neighborhood somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds, right? And then that's, a couple sets of clothes, some MREs, so a little bit of hygiene stuff, and then whatever gadgets and gizmos and all the related cords and cables and shit that goes with it, you know what I'm saying? Right? And a laptop, some cameras or whatever, if you're doing that or not, Right? Okay, and then you're going to need a few related items, like a tent, right? Sleeping bag, sleeping mat, if you're going to do a tent, or sleeping bag, or at least a mat, you're still going to have something to cover you, right? So you're going to have a traveling kit that's going to weigh in somewhere in the neighborhood between 25 and 40 pounds. You all right? Okay. Think about that. You know how much that is? Go down to the local, Fresh and Easy or over to the wholesale, grocery store, right? And when you walk right in the front door, those bags of peat moss and potting soil and stuff that are right there stacked up, walk over and pick one of those up. They weigh 40 pounds. That's what you're going to be carrying on your back as you're walking along. Number 2, right? This one's my favorite. Right? California is all city. Then people from back east, they don't know that. But I do, because I've been to California a bazillion times. And I rode my bicycle the length of it. Right? So I know this for a fact. California's all city, and there's all little towns anywhere. There's nothing any more than 10 or 15, 20 miles apart from each other before you get from a store to a store, no matter what. Right? We always had something going in California. Right? Nevada, right, is way different. Right? Nevada's only got 3 major cities. 3. All right, that have, 100,000 people or more. The rest of the cities, the middle cities, like Fallon, Ely, Tonopah, kind of, right? Stuff like that are smaller than you think. Saying less than 20,000 people, right? I think Fallon got like 35,000, and that's with the big old air naval station and all the officers and trainees and cadets and shit, right? You understand? Now the rest of the little towns and cities in Nevada and Arizona, because Arizona's like this too, right? It could be anywhere from 5 miles. Example, the nearest town to us is Carver's, 4 miles up the road. The next nearest town to us after Carver's is Tonopah, 57 miles to the southwest. The next nearest one is Austin, 67 miles to the northeast. Right? Now, there's nothing in between out here in Big Smoky Valley, except for a few alfalfa ranches, maybe a couple cow ranches here and there, a little teeny dinky tiny town, you know what I'm saying, Kingston, right, you know what I'm saying, Gilman Springs, which is basically, and you miss Gilman Springs, right, you know what I'm saying, Smoky Joe's up the valley here, Blue Springs, and all of those towns, they're just a name. There might be 20 people that live in Gilman Springs. Right? And there's nothing. It's wide open range desert. High desert. This time of year right now, there's snowdrifts everywhere. It's cold as shit. Right? You understand? When you're coming down if you come down the 50, once you come out of Reno and you make it to Fallon and you start coming out of Fallon and up to 50, right? And you get to the Grimes archaeological digs, from that point on, there's nothing until Middlegate. And I mean nothing. Is there? No. The only thing where any people would be is out on the old lake bed at the salt mine, where the guys are scraping the salt chip off the lake bed. And there's probably only about 4 or 5 of them out there working. And that's 3 miles off the highway. And them dudes ain't going to give you nothing if you accidentally, stupidly, decide, hey, those guys will give me something, and walk the 3 miles over there. They're going to run you off. Right? There's nothing. Right? And when we did it on bicycles, right, I used to think to myself, as right along and coming down the 50, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm so sick and tired of staring at that mountain that's 45 miles away from me, right? I'm so sick of it. I want to stop, quit, give up, right? But I couldn't, because I knew right over there, 45 miles away, was a town, right? And we could find stuff, we could have stuff, we could do stuff. And then we can hook up our phones to the Wi-Fi at the library. We can do whatever we need to do, right? But it would take days to get from here to there. And once you get to Arizona, once you get to Page is a good-sized little city. It really is. There's a lot of stores. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of hustle. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people work out at the power generating station out there on the res. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money in that little town. There's a good little hustle, right? But the cops don't like wanderers, period. Right? But this is my point. From Page to Flagstaff, which is the next nearest bigger city, right? It's 182 miles. And the only thing in between Page and Flagstaff is the Gray Mountain Trading Post out there on the res. And if you think the cops in Page are nasty, wait till you tangle with the reservation police out there on the res. And if you go walking through there, they're going to stop you, because they're the only thing moving that's different that they've seen in months. Right? Number 3, right? Just from the little bit of conversation we've had to this point, you should be starting to figure out that this is not going to be the adventure that you think it is. It's not. It's going to be a lot of work, especially if you're walking, because remember what you're carrying, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you are lucky and you got a little bit of something in your back pocket, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to do you any good till you walk 100 miles to the next town. Right? There's a lot. You're going to be thinking in your head a lot. You're going to be, you're going to be wondering. You're going to be criticizing. You're going to be arguing. You're going to be, you're going to be dreaming. You're going to be doing all this stuff with yourself, because you're going to be out there in the middle of nowhere walking along. right? And if you think people are going to stop and give you a ride, 80 miles an hour, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you look like hell. You probably smell worse. You know what I'm saying? You've been walking, carrying all this stuff, sweating, you know what I'm saying, sleeping on the ground, right? Scavenging for food when you get to a little town because, you know, you ate up your crackers and your vegan cheese. Right? You know what I'm saying? And if you do happen to make it, you know what I'm saying? That leads us into number 4, right? The only way you're really truly going to make it, if you don't have anything, if you do have anything, is you're still going to have to scavenge. You're still going to have to find clothes because all the clothes you have in the first month or so are going to be absolutely so totally destroyed, right? That even when you get to a laundromat, wash them, they're still not going to be clean. Right? Your shoes are going to be toasted. Especially if you're wearing an old beat up pair of Chuck Taylors to start with, dude, 100 miles in them puppies and you're going to be done. So you're going to have to find clothing along the way. Right? Unless you plan on stopping at Walmart, walking 300 miles to Fallon to, go to Walmart to buy a new pair of jeans and some tennies. Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And don't think in your mind that you're going to make it with one pair of shoes. In 5 months that me and Anonymous rode on the California bike adventure, I wore out 2 pairs of shoes. And one of those was a brand new pair of Nikes that I found in a dumpster about halfway through the adventure. Right? And I was riding a bicycle. You do walking on the hot pavement's even worse. Okay, so there's a couple of various ways to make money along the journey. You know, saying everybody knows about the old odd job thing, right? You know, saying, right? And I can see you, Will, thinking, wow, hey, old man, you full of shit. I talk to people on Discord, and they tell me this, and they tell me that. You know what? Half the people on Discord are lying to you. And the other half are faking it. You know what I'm saying? People on Discord don't know what they're talking about. It's all bullshit. I got kicked off Discord because I told the truth about what was going on. Right? And the administrators, you know what I'm saying? Didn't want that to leak out because they were the ones that were pushing the most bullshit. Warm showers? Not in Nevada. Not in Arizona till you get to Phoenix. Right? You know what I'm saying? Hot meals, all that stuff, that you can surf up on your phone on the internet and all that. I got to count, man. These people, I already talked to them. Not in Nevada. Right? You wander onto somebody's property. You get inside of their fence, you know what I'm saying? And they see you from the porch with the binocs, you know what I'm saying? Or over there from 4 miles away on the quad with the binocs, you know what I'm saying? You're liable to get shot before you get any closer to the door. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? But, you know what I'm saying? With the right amount of determination, the right amount of motivation, you know what I'm saying? And the right amount of planning, you know what I'm saying? Right, you could be successful. There have been literally thousands of people, men and women and children sometimes, that have walked across all the way to America and back. Rode their bicycle all the way back twice. Understand? Me and Anonymous did over 4,500 miles. Right? And I did it when I was 58 years old. Right? You understand? Dude. Moonshadow. If you really truly got your heart set on doing this, you know what I'm saying? Take the information that you're going to find on the internet, and even this information right here, right? You know what I'm saying? With a grain of salt, right? Do more research. Be prepared, right? Understand, what it is that you're getting involved in, because it's not what you think it's going to be. It's not going to be peaches and YouTube videos, bro, right? You know what I'm saying? For the 360 some odd videos in the California Bike Adventure playlist, right, that we made along our adventure, I so far to date have made less than $2,000 off of all of those videos, right? And it's been almost 5 years. People are going to watch you, right? You know what I'm saying? And every time you post a video, they're going to watch. Yeah, they will. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody else gonna, but as you go along, nobody cares because you're doing something in real time, right? And they want to watch it in real time, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? So you're going to be making as much money off of the daily view count that you're going to get, and so you're going to do it, and that adds into the whole problem because now you got a job to do while you're walking. Right? Good luck. You know what I'm saying? May the gods be with you. Right? You know what I'm saying? Write this one down right here. Right? In Nevada, there are places everywhere to find water. clean, cool, crisp, right out of the ground. Right? This is what I used to do when we were riding along. We were lawnmower. I'd look, as I was riding along, I'd be looking out into the desert. I'd be looking for them water tanks and the water troughs that are out there, a mile or so off of the highway where all the cows are, the cattle accumulate, because the water tank's there to fill up the water trough so the cows can come up and drink water whenever they want. Right? You understand? This is what I used to do. I used to three birds, one fucking water ball. You know what I'm saying? I'd ride my bike. Whether anonymous followed me or not, I'd turn off at the dirt road and I'd ride the 2 or 3 miles to the tank. Right? When I got there, I'd strip off all my dirty ass clothes, jump in the fucking thing, and take a bath. Second thing I did was I scrubbed my clothes as best I could, set them up on the thing to dry. The third thing I did was I crawled up on top of the tank, right, used my belt and my extra piece of rope, right, and lowered my water bottles down into the thing and filled them up, right, pull them back up one by one, right, and then I'd spend at least an hour or two lounging. If we had some weed, we'd smoke weed. Otherwise, we'd wander around, make videos here and there about the cows or whatever. You understand? And then off. Right? You understand? There's this one place known as this water box. Me and Teresa laugh about it every time we drive by, go in the pallet. Right? It's a big old water box with a windmill on the side of the road, you know what I'm saying? It's just a cistern. Right? You know what I'm saying? Pure, fresh, clean water all the time in a box, you know what I'm saying? It's 8 feet high, you know what I'm saying? 10, 15 feet long on the side, full of cold water. Dump your water bottles in, keep going. And if you look around, you'll find some of them dumb geocache things laying around somewhere by the fence post that I left. What? Dude, good luck. Really, truly. If I was you, you know what I'm saying, I'd do it on a bicycle. Bicycle's easier. You got to prepare a little bit differently, but it's 3 times faster. You can go 4 times farther in a single day. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, you got to protect it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to protect yourself anyway. Keep your bike with you, dummy. When you go in the store, chain it to the gate right there. Right? Take the wheel off. Yeah, take the wheel off if you have to. Take the seat off. Take the seat off if you have to. But it's way easier. You know what I'm saying? Right? And you'll probably have a better disposition and a personal outlook when you get to Arizona. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because, dude, if you're thinking about attempting this now, this is me, Brian. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for your concern for your friend, you know what I'm saying? Asking for advice, you know what I'm saying? What he's really looking at, because, right? Please like and subscribe and share this video if you think it's worth other people that are thinking crazy. Need to hear the voice from the wilderness. Thank you.